Hey everybody, Sickness here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. And today I went on a little bit of a shopping spree. Or maybe I should say a lot of a shopping spree. Headed out to my local Target and my local Best Buy, picked up a boatload of TV season sets. They were all listed, with the exception of the first one I'm going to show you. They were all listed at $9.99 a piece, which is my limit. $10 is my limit per season title. So I wasn't really necessarily getting any great deals. I was paying what I would normally expect to pay for these seasons, but they were seasons that I've wanted to pick up for a while now, so I figured I would finally jump on them, do a little splurging, spend way too much money today, but I definitely wanted to get these seasons, so let's take a look at what I got. The first that I picked up, like I said, is the only title that was not listed at $9.99. This one was actually listed at $7.99 at Target, so I definitely had to grab it, and that was the complete first season of Cheers. This is a show I absolutely love, one I grew up watching, and a show that I've wanted to start picking up the seasons of for a long while now. I do come across these a lot for only $10, but for whatever reason, I always end up picking something else up. So I figured at $7.99, I definitely had to jump on this one and finally get the complete first season, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting the rest. Then the first $9.99 title I picked up was Heroes Season 4. This year completes my Hero season. I do already own seasons 1, 2, and 3, so definitely had to get 4 to complete the entire set. I do hear seasons 3 and 4 are not very good. I actually have not made it through the first season yet. This show, it's a good show. I do enjoy the story. I was enjoying the first season, but for whatever reason, it's just not a show that has really roped me in. Even though I do enjoy it, and I have been enjoying what I've watched thus far, I just have not yet gotten really roped in, so I've kind of been slacking on getting through the first season, but I do look forward to watching all 4 seasons eventually, even though I do hear seasons 3 and 4 are not all that great. But again, definitely had to pick it up to complete the series. Next, I picked up the complete first season of The Nanny. This here's a show that I grew up watching, definitely one of my childhood favorites, a show that I used to watch all the time. So this is another one I've been meaning to get for a while now, so for $9.99, had to jump on it. Then I picked up the complete first and second seasons of The Partridge Family. Now this here's a show that I never really grew up watching. My mother was definitely a Brady kid. She grew up watching the Brady Bunch and raised me on it as well. But I don't think she was ever a big fan of The Partridge Family, so I didn't really watch much of this as a child. But as I started to grow up more, get more into my teens, I did start watching more and more of this show on TV, and I remember loving it. So I definitely wanted to pick these up to start my Partridge Family collection. Then I grabbed the complete first, third, and fourth, because that's all they had in stock, seasons of Bewitched. Now this is a show I definitely grew up watching. I've been a big fan of this ever since I was a little kid, and these are seasons that I definitely want to have in my collection. I've never really come across them for under $10. Every time I see these are usually about like $11.99, somewhere around the $12 range. So they're always a few dollars more than I'm willing to pay for them. So when I saw these today for only $9.99 a piece, I definitely had to grab them. Definitely hoping I come across some more of these seasons eventually for this cheap, because I would really love to get the entire series. But for now, having these 3 seasons is definitely awesome. And once again, because these were the only 3 titles I had in stock, I picked up the complete first, third, and fourth seasons of I Dream of Jeannie. This here's another classic to me. Another show that I was raised on. I remember watching this one all the time, especially on days where I was sick. I remember watching this, staying home, just watching this, Bewitched, Gilligan's Island, all the classics. Used to watch all of them on TV. So I'm a huge fan of this series. So I definitely had to pick these up. And just like Bewitched, usually when I come across these, they're all around the $12 range. So I've never jumped on them. But for $10 a piece, definitely had to pick these up. Very happy to finally have these in the collection. So that's it for what I bought today. So now on to what I watched. And today's Halloween Horathon title was Elvira's Haunted Hills. Yep. This was garbage. That's it. That's really all I need to tell you guys. I don't think I need to go any further than that, do I? Horror movie, stay away. Alright, I'll talk about it a little bit more. If you guys remember yesterday, I watched Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I told you that it was a fantastic film. It was really cheesy, really over the top, very self-aware, but it was a great fun 80s movie, and I highly recommended everybody check it out. It was great. So I definitely wanted to sit down and watch this one, because I was hoping for maybe more of the same. Boy, was I mistaken. This was just complete garbage. It was extremely boring. It was not funny at all. It was very bad. This is from 2001, and that should have been my first warning. I should have known when I saw that this was from 2001 that it was probably not going to be good, because I think the last movie was from 1988. And obviously, in 1988, cheeseball horror comedy is probably going to be pretty good. But trying to do that in 2001 probably wasn't going to work, and it definitely failed miserably. The jokes all fall flat. It just feels like a child wrote this movie. There's so many goofy things, like the speeding up a film to make things kind of wacky and crazy. Just jokes. There's this one guy who talks, but it's another guy talking, doing his voice, so it looks like he's being dubbed, and it's just like, why? Why are they doing that? It made no sense. It wasn't funny. This movie's supposed to take place, and this is something else that's kind of weird. It's supposed to take place in 1851, so it's a period piece, yet they're constantly making jokes that are from, I'd say, about the 90s and 80s, maybe 70s or something like that. They're making somewhat modern day jokes for a movie that's supposed to take place in the 1800s. So that there alone is kind of not making much sense as it is. And I don't know if they're trying to be funny by doing that, but it just seems out of place. You're like, wait, is this a period piece or is this not? Is Elvira supposed to be in this time period, or was she magically transported into this time period? Because just the jokes she's making makes her seem like she's not even from the 1800s. And it's just bad. Just bad. Bad. I can't stress that enough on just how horrible a film this is. And on the back, I gotta read this to you. The synopsis says, Elvira is back in an all-new adventure with her ample atomic assets, big black bouffants, and hilarious one-liners. The Mistress of the Dark knocks them dead in this side-splitting sleuth that is equal parts, and here we go, Austin Powers and Young Frankenstein, add a little dash of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and you've got the bust-out movie of the century. To compare this to Rocky Horror Picture Show, Austin Powers, and my all-time favorite movie, Young Frankenstein, just, it infuriates me. To compare this to three fantastic movies, especially something as great as Young Frankenstein, just really rips you apart. And the only reason they're comparing this to Rocky Horror is because Riff Raff's in this one. I forget his name. Richard O'Brien, who plays Riff Raff in Rocky Horror. That's the only reason they're comparing it to this. He's in the movie. He actually does an okay job. He's not horrible, but it's Riff Raff. I mean, I can't be too angry at him. But it's just so bad. I'm not going to go into the plot. I'm not going to explain it. It's completely pointless. Just stay away from this horrible, wretched movie. Definitely check out Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. That movie is brilliant. It is great. It's a fun, cheeseball 80s horror comedy that everybody should see. But this one right here, Elvira's Haunted Hills, just please, for the love of God, stay away from this one. I spent this entire movie watching the clock. I mean, I'm constantly just going, what time is it? I'm looking at the clock on the wall, and I'm constantly looking at the clock on the actual VHS player. I was picking up my phone, looking at the clock on there. I wanted this movie to just be over. I was so incredibly bored. I've not been bored with a movie in such a long time. It just amazed me how bored this movie made me. So again, a horrible, wretched piece of junk. Stay away from this. Do yourself a favor. Do not rot your mind with this garbage. Just stay far, far away. So that's it for what I bought and what I watched today. Definitely excited about all the titles I picked up today. Getting all those season sets in my collection is fantastic. Again, I did splurge a little bit today. Spent a lot more money than I would normally spend all in one shot. But getting each of those sets for $9.99 a piece, with the exception of Cheers, which was $7.99. I think I got some great deals there. And these are all season sets that I've wanted to have in my collection for a good long while now. So I'm very happy to finally have them in the collection. And unfortunately, watching Elvira's Haunted Hills, did I mention I didn't like that movie? It was so bad. Just stay away. That's really all I can say. The jokes are bad. The plot was bad. Everything in that movie was so bad and boring and wretched. Just stay away from it. Do yourself a favor. Do not see that film. Believe me, it's nothing you're going to want to see. So, unfortunately, I did waste my evening with that. But, hey, at least I got out of the way. And now I know it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya. Hey everybody, Sickness here again to talk to you about what I bought when I... Come on, damn it. I gotta get this done.